were having a blast. Teenage dreams and neon screens. It was all bad and no one to me. Like, you know, it's like whatever, together forever. We're never gonna sever. Laughing, sharing our stories clever. We'll take you back. It's like whatever.
Welcome to Like Whatever, a podcast for, by, and about Gen X. I'm Nicole, and this is my BFFF, Heather.
Hello.
All right, so first order of business, because I'm obsessed, is Taylor's new album. I love it.
Taylor released a new album, in case anybody didn't know.
If you've been living under a rock.
She would have to be.
I love it. I love everything about it. The album is too short. Is the only issue.
I did listen to it. Not a fan. It's not my cup of tea.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. But
it's fine.
I have to say my favorite, it's not my favorite song, but she wrote a song about Travis's dick. And I just can't. I love it. It makes me giggle. It's so funny. And I woke up Friday morning. It dropped midnight Friday morning, I guess you would say. Anyway, so I was getting ready for work. I turned on Spotify on the TV and had it blaring while I was getting ready. So I was listening, but not paying attention. Then on the way to work, I'm like driving and Wood came on and I was like listening, and I'm like, wait.
What'd she just say?
Is this song about Travis's dick?
I know. She texted me and I was like, what? And then I went and Googled and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah, I did the same thing. As soon as I got to my office, I just opened social media and that's all anyone was talking about. And I was like, okay.
It's like, all right, then. Go ahead, Taylor.
Alrighty, that's right, girl. I love it. And then I also didn't know that she and Charlie XCX have beef.
I didn't know that either, but.
Yeah, but I was listening to Actually Romantic, which I think is a funny song. And it's about Charlie XCX. Yes. And not being young anymore, putting the pieces together. Charlie XCX is married to one of the 1985s. And Matty Healy is the lead singer of the 1985s.
I didn't know that was a thing. 1985. I didn't know that was.
I think that's the name of the band.
I have no idea.
Okay. Anyway, Matty Healy is the one that she wrote all the sad songs on Torture Poets Department about. And
I did know that.
So Charlie is married to the bandmate. But the fucked up thing is that Charlie XCX opened for Taylor in 2015. So guess what probably launched you into stardom?
Right.
But she wrote some Shade song about Taylor, and so Taylor wrote this Shade song back, and it's funny and cute, and I love it. And I love the video to Fate of Ophelia, and I just love her, and I'll shut up now, because I could go on the whole episode about it.
You only went on for 3 minutes, so. It's all right.
And I know, well, and I'm saving it, too, for my therapist, because she is also a Swiftie, and she was so mad because we meet on Thursdays and the album dropped Friday. She was like, I so wish the album would have dropped before this. I was like, well, now we'll have a whole week to listen to it and really take it in, and then we can talk about it. So
yeah. I listened to it and it's fine. I mean, I'm sure it's fine. It's just, it's too poppy. I like her, like a sad stuff. So
yeah.
I mean,
you like her as a person.
Yeah,
it's just not your kind of music.
It's just not I enjoy like the storytelling of it and all that, but it's not my cup of tea.
Yep.
Plus, I don't really ever listen to music anymore. Really? It's all Dateline. It's all murder.
Well, I'm usually just NPR in the car, but lately, obviously.
Yeah. All Taylor all the time.
24/7.
I've been watching the new Monster, the Ed Gein on Netflix.
I am watching that as well.
I'm so disappointed. So sad. I was really looking forward to it. Really excited about it. And it's just, it's fine.
It's entertaining.
It is entertaining. It's a great story. Unfortunately, most of it is not true. So,
And obviously, I know who Ed Gein is. I love serial killers. He's not necessarily one that I ever paid a whole lot of attention to because until the past few years, I've never really been into horror movies and such. Right. So I wouldn't have made those connections like back then, I don't think. I'm sure at some point in my life I knew it, that he was Texas Chainsaw Massacre and Psycho and all that.
Buffalo Bill.
Yeah. But it still just didn't, a lot of the pieces didn't fit together for me. So I'm going to watch, I have like an episode and a half left. So I'm going to finish that. And then I'm going to find a real life documentary on him and watch it and see.
I've only gotten through 2 episodes of it and I already hate it.
I was excited to come talk to you about it too. I'm sorry that you hate it.
I'm going to have to force myself into the rest of it. The story is already so fucked up. Like, why are we just telling lies? Like, why are we just making shit up? The story of it is so incredibly out there. And, like, I know people say, oh, that's my favorite. You know, he's not a serial killer because he only killed 2, but my favorite, I'll say nut job.
Well, he's already killed more than 2 in the show.
Exactly. And he only killed 2 people. So he is... From a psychological standpoint, that's why I like him so much. Because he didn't realize what he was doing was wrong. Really, that he's criminally insane. So
yeah, definitely,
he did get convicted. Spoiler alert: he did get convicted of 1 murder, but he spent his whole life in him, the whole rest of his life in him, and he died in 1984. By the way,
damn. He was born in 1904.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, he probably did really well.
It really is true. Only the good die young.
He probably did really well in a mental institution because he needed the structure. And that most of them just do much better in jail than they did out on their own because they need the structure. At first I was, when they announced who was playing him, I was a little unsure of that because Charlie's just entirely too handsome. I do like what they've done, that they did ugly him up a little bit, and he does have the correct body for it, and you do see all of his body.
Yeah.
And some people have said they're sad that Charlie looks better in lingerie than they do.
I have to say he does look spectacular in all the lingerie.
Yeah, he does.
He's in. Yeah.
It's just I'm just disappointed. You didn't need to make it up. It's already an insane, fucked up, crazy story that you didn't need to add.
I'm excited to watch the real documentary on it. But it's funny you mentioned the psychological part because that's my obsession with serial killers anyway. Like the even the prettier ones like the Ted Bundys, there's still something so missing.
To me, the craziest part is how do you do that and then go to the grocery store without
or home to your wife and kids?
Yeah, it's
just crawl into bed. Nothing happened.
Like nothing happened.
That's what I mean. Like having absolutely no feeling about that.
Yeah, like just not. Do you just shut your brain off? I mean, that's the fascinating.
No, they don't
part
have that.
Yeah,
they don't have what makes you.
That's crazy.
I know. I can't fathom it.
No. I can't fathom, like... Oh, so here's my other thing about Ed Gein. I mean, he killed 2 people, yes. But most of the shit he did, he dug up graves, and then he soaked... You might want to skip ahead a second here. He soaked all their skin, he took their skin, and then he soaked all the flesh off of them, and then he put the bones back. I mean, so really...
Yeah.
I mean...
Exactly. The skin was going to dissolve anyway.
Well,
Who was he really hurting?
I mean, come on. Do you care if somebody wears your face around after you're dead? I don't.
No, definitely not.
No. If you want, donate me to serial killers who like to wear.
Put me on the dark web when you die.
I don't mind. I don't care. Look at all these tattoos. I would make great furniture.
Ooh.
I know. It's so pretty.
Can you imagine a lamp?
I know.
Wow.
That'd be beautiful.
You would be a beautiful lamp.
Gorgeous lamp.
The nipple seat did kind of freak me out a little bit.
Oh, he had a nipple belt, too.
Well, they show other nipple things, but at one point
the box of vulvas, he did have a box of
that
vulvas.
Was,
yes,
I was going to ask you if the leathered vulvas were a real thing.
That was a real thing. Yep. So, watch it at your own risk. It's not. And most of it is. It's not.
I'm kind of glad I don't really know his whole story watching this, because I can just enjoy it and be creeped out.
And that's exactly.
And then I'll educate myself afterward.
All the ratings are, you can tell if it's like somebody who is deeply, I don't know what the word.
Interested.
For people like me.
Fascinated.
Yeah. That know the story and who are like, ugh, I didn't like it. You know, and the acting, and like when they pick it apart, their main problem with it is the story is inaccurate. You know, acting is great. Everything else is, and it makes a great movie. If it were based on, if I don't know, if it wasn't supposed to be like a more accurate, because the Dahmer one was pretty accurate.
I was going to say, they've done other monsters. Even I'm not a big fan of the Menendez brothers. I ended up watching that one because it was just all over the news.
Yeah.
But it was pretty accurate to, you know, I mean, I lived through it. I remember it. And I felt like it was pretty true. Dahmer seemed pretty true.
And that's it. You know, I mean, they're not saying they're a documentary, so they have liberty, but and I know they take liberties, but I think they went way out the box when it was unnecessary to do that.
Gotcha.
So if you haven't watched it and you're into that kind of thing and you know the story inside and out like some of us do, you're not going to like it. If you don't know the story inside and out and you like just the gory, creepy, then it is certainly better.
The end of episode 3. Whew, got me. I just shut it off for a little bit. I turned on Shrek instead and watched that. Get a little donkey in my life.
It's funny because my work bestie, his daughter calls him Shrek or the Grinch instead of Daddy. And he told me that the other day, and I just could not stop laughing. That was the greatest thing I've ever heard in my life.
Poor guy.
Yeah. Shrek.
Her mother probably told her to call.
No, she just likes Shrek. She wants to go as Fiona for Halloween. Aww. They're having trouble finding a Fiona costume her size because she's 3.
Yeah, they probably don't really make Fiona costumes anymore.
They're looking for online, I think.
And then need a velvet green dress and a red wig.
Yeah. Paint her up green.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's all we had for this week. I don't think there's anything going on.
No.
I was going to talk about the Mark Sanchez thing, but I am not a fan of Mark Sanchez, and I just went on a rant about CTE last week, so I'm going to keep my mouth shut. Although everyone is saying he was highly intoxicated, which does not mean he doesn't also have CTE.
I'm sure it's CTE related.
It's got to be. I mean, he's big news. It's not like he was just Mark Sanchez some years ago. He's a commentator on Fox Sports. So, yikes.
Yeah.
And now he's got a felony charge. They had only given him a misdemeanor, 3 misdemeanors at first, but then there were eyewitnesses, and they interviewed all them and upped it to felony charges. So
see, I saw it and I didn't read any more into it. So I don't know. I don't know what I have had car issues, so I'm wrapped up in car drama.
I just have issues.
I swear to God, like I cannot have a car without an issue. You could walk me on to a car dealership and give me a car with 0 miles on it, brand spanking new. And by the time I get it home, something will be wrong with it. I will hit a nail. I have no luck with cars.
Rock will hit your windshield.
Yeah, it has happened before.
Yeah.
I've gotten a flat like within a week of having it. I just...
Yeah, because when did we go get that car?
December.
It was only December?
Yes.
Oh, Lord.
Yes.
Ay, ay, ay.
Yeah. Yeah. I haven't even had it a year. Yep. And instead of, because I put a lot of money down on it, which I could have just gone and bought a used car and not had a car payment and had the same fucking issue.
Yeah.
And just not have to make a car payment on top of it.
Yep.
But no, I was like, I'm going to buy, and it was used, but it's only 4 years old. I was like, I'm just going to buy a newer car and then I won't have to worry about fixing it. And ha ha ha.
Joke's on you.
It hasn't had air conditioning all summer.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Ay.
Love it. Love it. Just a quick shout out to one of our favorite sponsors, Old Glory. If your wardrobe is 40% pop culture references and 60% emotional baggage, they've got you covered.
They've got band tees, horror merch, feminist icons, retro cartoons, basically everything you wish you still had from your high school closet, but now in adult sizes and emotional stability.
Use code LikeWhatever for 15% off at oldglory.com because nostalgia should be wearable and slightly ironic.
All right. Well, before we get started,
Yes.
please like, share, rate, review.
Please.
Find us where you listen to podcasts.
Please.
Follow us on all the socials at LikeWhateverPod.
Please.
We are on YouTube. There's a video up.
There's one video. We're not doing it today because we're in a different space and I'm not trying.
Yeah.
And the sound is awful.
Yeah.
I gotta get that figured out. But it was an attempt. We attempted.
Yeah. So if you want to see us attempting to do a podcast.
Unedited. I didn't edit it. I just shoved it right up.
Oh, Lord.
Yep.
And you can send us an email at likewhateverpod@gmail.com. And real quick, before we get started, I want to give a shout out to our friend Pat. Get well soon, buddy.
Yes. Did you see the, he's got a big announcement this weekend.
He does. I can't wait.
Me either. I'm excited.
Yep. All right. So now on to fucking around and finding out about the peanuts. Heather hates the peanuts.
I hate the peanuts. Don't come at me.
The peanuts are 75 years old now. And I love the peanuts. And it's something I've been wanting to do. So I went ahead and did it.
Most people do. I am in the minority, that is for
I
sure.
still don't get it either because you would think you would love Charlie Brown. Like you would really relate to Charlie Brown.
I have no idea why I hate Charlie Brown so much. I just do. I don't know. I think it's Snoopy. Honestly,
I mean, a black cloud follows him around.
I think it's Snoopy. It's Snoopy and Peppermint Patty.
What's wrong with Snoopy?
I hate him. He's such an arrogant little fucking dog.
Peppermint Patty's obnoxious, I guess.
Yeah. She's the one that takes the football away, right?
Mm-mm.
Oh, which one's the one that takes the football?
Lucy.
Oh, Lucy. Okay, well then Lucy's the asshole.
I think Peppermint Patty is a lesbian.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
I thought they were the same. So Lucy wears the blue dress, right?
Yeah, and has black hair.
Yeah. Okay.
Peppermint Patty has red hair.
Okay, that was wrong. It's Lucy I don't like. I do like Linus is the stinky one, right?
No.
Oh. That's Pigpen.
Yes.
Pigpen.
Yes.
I know stuff.
Yes. See, you said you weren't going to know anything.
Really?
All right. Well, you're about to get learned. So
I'm ready to get learned.
All right. My sources this week came from Britannica.com and interestingfacts.com. So the Peanuts turned 75. It was this week sometime. I meant to look up the date. It's probably in this script that I wrote, but it's been a long day. Anyway, so it was written by Charles Schulz. He was born in November 26, 1922 in Minneapolis, Minnesota. And he died February 12th, 2000 in Santa Rosa, California. He was an American cartoonist who created the Peanuts, one of the most successful American comic strips of the mid-20th century. Schulz was the son of a barber. He studied cartooning in an art correspondence school after graduating in 1940 from high school. He served in the Army from 1943 to 1945 and returned first as an instructor with the art school and then a freelance cartoonist with the St. Paul Pioneer Press and the Saturday Evening Post. He created the Peanuts strip, originally entitled Lil Folks, with a little apostrophe in the Lil.
Yep.
I'm glad they didn't keep it at that.
Yeah, that's terrible.
Yeah. In the 1950s, introducing a group of 3, 4, and 5-year-old characters based upon semi-autobiographical experiences. The main character is Charlie Brown, who represents a sort of everyman. a sensitive but bland and unremarkable child. Schulz channeled the loneliness that he had experienced in his army days and the frustrations of everyday life into Charlie Brown, who is often made the butt of jokes. One of Schulz's initial themes arose from the cruelty that exists among children. The character of Snoopy, Heather's favorite,
Arrogant.
a beagle hound with frustrated dreams of glory, is often portrayed as being wiser than the children. Other characters, including Sally, Charlie Brown's little sister, the tyrannical and contrary fussbudget Lucy,
That's the one I don't like.
her younger brother Linus, who is not Pigpen,
Not Pigpen.
who dragged a security blanket
That's what I was
wherever he
thinking
goes.
The security blanket.
Yeah. Much like your Winnie the Pooh. So you and Linus had a lot in common.
I think
too.
that's probably the only reason I identified with.
And Schroeder, who's obsessed with playing Beethoven on his toy piano. The Peanuts comic strip was adapted to television and to stage, and Schulz wrote the screenplays for 2 feature-length animated films. He was co-author of Charlie Brown, Snoopy, and Me in 1980, and the 3D computer-animated The Peanuts movie, based on his comic strips, that was released in 2015. I did not ever watch that. It looked too... I don't like that realistic-looking cartoon stuff.
There's a name for that. It's Uncanny Valley. I think we've talked about this before.
Oh, yeah, where your brain can't process it.
It can't. Well, because our lizard brain is supposed to fear things that look like us, just not quite like us. Yeah, so like if Neanderthal came up behind us, they kind of look like us, but not. So our little brains are.
I would definitely be scared if a Neanderthal came up behind me.
I mean, yeah.
Especially if he had his dinosaur with him.
Fuck you.
Anyway, in 1999, Schulz was diagnosed with colon cancer, and he announced his intention to retire in order to conserve his energies for his treatment program. Ironically, he died in his sleep the night before his final comic strip was published.
I did know that.
That's crazy. He died February 12th, 2000. Let's see... First published in 1947 under the name Lil Folks, the strip, renamed Peanuts in 1950, featured a cast of children led by Charlie Brown. Schulz's. On the surface, Peanuts did not differ radically from other newspaper comics of its era. The 4-panel daily strips featured a simple, almost spare artistic style and routinely concluded with a joke of some kind, often at Charlie Brown's expense. The strength of the Peanuts lay in the depth of its characters and in Schulz's ability to connect with his readers through them. The introspective everyman Charlie Brown stoically dealt with life's misfortunes, from a kite-eating tree to a football that is always pulled away, a moment before he attempted to kick it, with a sigh, a good grief, or most emphatically with dread. Lucy Van Pelt, his frequent tormentor and the big sister to his blanket-toting friend Linus, offered psychiatric advice and presented a steely exterior, but she could not resist observing that happiness is a warm puppy. Snoopy, Charlie Brown's beagle,
arrogant,
made pithy observations and spent his time engaging in imagined aerial battles with a German World War I flying ace.
Exactly, my issue. Dogs don't think about that.
It was crazy, though, that back then we were watching cartoons with the Red Baron flying around in war.
Yeah.
And he fantasized himself as a jazz saxophonist named Joe Cool.
That's it. That's where
one's annoying.
That's where my issue comes
That's
in with
people's. That's the people's fault, though. Stickers and shirts.
I don't care whose fault it is. I don't like it.
Okay. The strip's other characters included Schroeder, the Beethoven-obsessed object of Lucy's desire, Peppermint Patty, a freckled and frequently bewildered tomboy who referred to Charlie Brown as Chuck. Marcy, Peppermint Patty's wisecracking sidekick. And Woodstock, a yellow bird who, in spite of his inexpert flying skills, accompanied Snoopy on his many adventures.
Can't stand Woodstock either.
Yeah. Again, like, there was a time, what was it, the 90s?
Yes, where it was everywhere.
Everything
that
was
and the
Woodstock.
Tasmanian devil.
Everybody was getting tattoos.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Tweety Bird.
Oh, yeah, that too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. At the time of Schulz's death in 2000, mere hours before his final Sunday strip was published, Peanuts was running in more than 2,500 magazines and art newspapers in 75 countries, with a readership that topped 350 million. In the early 21st century, sales of Peanuts merchandise amounted to $1 billion a year empire, with products ranging from stuffed animals to clothing to a popular line of greeting cards. So yeah, right there, 90s, 2000s.
It was just fucking everywhere. Everywhere.
Snoopy was perhaps the most visible Peanuts character, appearing as the corporate mascot for American insurance company MetLife and making appearances as a massive balloon in New York City's annual Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade.
Him and Woodstock, right?
Yeah. It's so funny. Every year I'm like, I wake up on Thanksgiving, I'm like, oh, I'm going to watch the Macy's Day Parade. And I turn it on. I literally watch for like 5 minutes. I'm like, I can't take this anymore.
Look, I don't even like watching parades in person. I'm certainly not going to watch one on TV.
I have a nostalgia for parades because I was in marching band from 5th grade through senior year. I enjoyed being in parades. I enjoyed taking my kids to parades when they were little, homecoming parades, things like that. But no, I'm not really into. I usually just really try to catch the Rockettes on the Macy's Day Parade.
I mean, I guess I get that because I have an affinity for the Mummers Parade.
Yes, because your dad was a mummer.
Yeah, and I will watch the Mummers Parade, but that's also a different kind of thing because at the end there, they do like a whole thing.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess they do at the Thanksgiving Day Parade too, so.
And they're all drunk as a skunk, which makes it way more entertaining.
Yes, they are. And we used to go when I was a kid, like little, before my sister.
Oh.
Yeah.
She ruined everything.
Everything. Literally everything.
I've never seen the Mummers in person.
I have.
It probably would have been fun back then. I can imagine it's not the same.
My, just as an aside, my dad's BFF is here, and I bet when you go to leave, if you ask my dad to do the Mummers dance, he will, because I'm pretty sure they're fucking high as kites.
Oh, when I came up, one of the garage doors was open. And I was like, I bet I know what they're doing.
They've
in
been
there.
out in the shed.
The shed.
When I got here, they've been in the shed. They've been in the shed for like, I've been here for like 3 hours. So. But he will do the Mummers dance for you. You hand him an umbrella.
Oh, I don't know if I want to see that.
If anybody, obviously, you guys might not even know what a Mummers Parade is unless you're in the
Philadelphia
area.
Yeah. Maybe you should explain that a little bit.
So the Mummers are, I'm not really, I don't know, they just always have existed. They're like, it's kind of like Union, but it's kind of like Union crossed with like Secret Club crossed with like.
There's probably some Masons in there.
Yeah, like a
and it's in Philadelphia. I don't know if we mentioned that yet.
It's strictly a Philadelphia thing. And January 1st is the Mummers Day Parade, and they spend the entire year decorating these crazy ass floats.
And their costumes.
And they're just crazy costumes, and they have different categories. There's the fancy category, and then there's some other, I don't remember.
I think there's a comical one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they march down Broad Street every year on January 1st, and
they start partying the night before. They stay up all night.
All night. There's a Mummers staging area where down by the Mummers Museum, and then they just roam down. And back in the day, you probably can't do it now because it's different, but back in the day, they would walk down Broad Street, and everybody would have, because it was New Year's Day, so the whole strip of Broad Street, people would have their doors open and everybody had food, and you could just walk in and out of people's houses.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah. And it was just like a ginormous block party because Broad Street is really big. So it was like you could just, and the Mummers would like be walking down and they would just stop, and then people would give them alcohol because it was so cold, and then they do a mummer strut, and they have an umbrella, and they do this dance with the umbrella. Anyhow,
And back in the day, it was only men, right?
yes,
Even
Now,
though the outfits are very flamboyant.
very yes, but it was only men. And my dad, because he belonged to one of the local high school, he played in the local high school band. He would get recruited every year to do it, and I'm going to put this in air quotes because I think it's full of shit. But he said that they would have to dump the alcohol in the saxophone for the reed because it would freeze up. And I was like, I don't believe you even for a millisecond.
All right, I played the saxophone and I marched in many cold weather parades. Yes, that is not true.
I didn't think so. So yeah, they would just anyway, yeah, they're very if you're curious, I'm sure you can find it on YouTube. You can watch mummers parades, and they have there's a whole I forget what there's a certain song they play, something slipper. I can't remember. Anyway, it's a Philadelphia thing.
It is, and it's very cool. And I grew up in Delaware, but I still, of course, knew the
They
mummers.
put it on. It's on the TV every year.
All around here, yeah.
And then, so a couple of times when we had season tickets to the Eagles, there would be an Eagles game, and most of these guys have season tickets to the Eagles, and they would let them in with their umbrellas, and I was like, why are you letting them in with their little umbrellas?
That's hilarious because you are not allowed to take an umbrella in a stadium.
No, but they would let them in with their little umbrellas, and you would see them
Who
popping
was
up.
going to stop them?
That's true. And the security were probably all mummers anyway. And then you'd see them. They would pop their little. Because they would be like, "Oh, welcome, whatever, mummers," and then they would pop their little umbrellas open.
And then everybody behind them couldn't see anything.
It's really annoying. Anyway, check it out sometime. You might want to if you're interested in seeing what mummers are.
Yeah. All right. So the Peanuts characters appeared in numerous television specials, including A Charlie Brown Christmas, one of my favorites. That one from 1965.
Boo.
It's a Great Pumpkin, Charlie Brown.
Boo.
Came out in 1966. As well as a short-lived television series, The Charlie Brown and Snoopy Show in 1983 to 1985, which I do not remember. They were the subject of the stage musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown in 1967, and there was a television adaptation in 1973 and 1985. Over the comic strip's 50-year run, Schulz refused to allow anyone else to draw or write Peanuts, and the collected body of work amounting to more than 18,000 strips was thought to be the longest story ever told by a single person.
That is interesting.
Yeah. Snoopy
Is an asshole.
the spotted white beagle. You get that right. He had black spots. With a rich fantasy life, the pet dog of the hapless character Charlie Brown, Snoopy became one of the most iconic and beloved characters in the history of comics. Although Charlie Brown was ostensibly the main character in Charles Schulz long-running strip, more often than not, his dog stole the show. The strip began in 1950, and before that decade was over, Snoopy had begun walking on 2 feet and communicating with readers through cartoons, which were thought bubbles. Although the other characters in the strip were not privy to Snoopy's thoughts, they often spoke to him as if he were human and even made him a star player on their baseball team.
That's what I'm trying to say.
I mean, we all talk to our pets like they're humans.
Right. I get that. You know what it is? I'm going to tell you what it is. Because this is how I know I probably have some autism hiding in there somewhere.
Okay.
Undiagnosed. Although, I mean, let's be honest. I'm way on the spectrum. I'm not just a little bit. I don't even have just a touch of autism. I'm like fully on there. Yeah. I think it's because I cannot stand things out of the realm of reality.
Okay.
Except, but here's what's weird. Science fiction. I don't have a problem with science fiction like Star Trek. That's clearly not real, but I guess it could be. But the fact that Snoopy is going to walk on 2 feet and fly planes. Yeah, and have thought bubbles and fly planes is just used to drive me insane when my sister would color, and she did it on fucking purpose. She would like color an elephant like green. No, you can't. Elephants are gray. There's no.
I was always pretty anal retentive about keeping my coloring realistic.
Realistic.
Yeah.
You can't color a purple. No.
Mm-mm. They are gray.
I mean, I'll give you pink.
Yeah, because there's the pink elephant.
Yeah. But that's another thing. Like, I like Winnie the Pooh. Who knows what the hell's wrong with me?
We'll dissect this one day.
We're going to need more than an hour.
We'll do a whole month on it.
We might have to.
Okay. Lying on the roof of his doghouse, Snoopy spent much of his time daydreaming. In one of his recurring flights of fancy, he was a World War I flying ace who, sporting pilot's goggles and a flowing red scarf with his doghouse transformed into a fighter plane, waged fierce aerial battles against his nemesis, the Red Baron. This rivalry was the subject of a pair of popular novelty songs by the American rock group The Royal Guardsmen in the mid-1960s. I remember that song.
I do not.
You'd know it if you heard it.
Maybe.
Mm-hmm. Snoopy's other alter egos included the jazz saxophonist Joe Cole and a soldier in the French Foreign Legion. Woodstock, a small yellow bird whose exact species was never identified by Schulz, was introduced in the late 1960s and soon became a sidekick for Snoopy, accompanying him on his many adventures.
I would think it's the same kind of bird as Tweety Bird, right? They look similar, right? Don't they?
Yeah.
I can't remember quite what I do, but I don't.
I mean, they're both yellow. I guess I never really even thought. I mean, Tweety Bird's really weird because his head's bigger than his body.
Right.
And that's just not a bird thing.
I'm going to look up Woodstock.
They would just fall over. They would dive bomb to the ground when they were trying to fly. But Tweety, I don't know.
I'm looking.
All right. While you look, I'm going to talk about Space Beagle.
Go ahead.
Space Beagle was an astronaut Snoopy balloon floating down 6th Avenue in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade, New York City, November 25th, 2021. Since 1968, Snoopy, in various guises, including an astronaut, has been a regularly featured balloon character at the annual Macy's Day Thanksgiving Parade, and he has appeared in more Macy's Thanksgiving Day parades than any other character. Not more than Santa Claus.
I was going to say.
Duh.
I feel like it. I guess not.
All right. Did you find out what kind of bird it was?
Tweety Bird is a canary. Mm-hmm. But
I guess
Woodstock
if you say so.
is no.
Oh, Tweety's a canary. Woodstock, there is no.
It's
Oh, well, it says
unknown,
Schulz never.
It said unknown.
I guess if
species.
Schulz didn't say, then he's what's the word? A bird.
A bird. Anonymous bird.
A bird. Oh, like all one word though. A bird.
A bird.
Snoopy was prominently featured in numerous Peanuts animated television specials and movies, including Snoopy Come Home in 1972, Broadway musical You're a Good Man, Charlie Brown, as I mentioned before, in 1967, and the Peanuts movie 2015, which I never watched. In the 1960s, the Snoopy character became a mascot for the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, aka NASA. See, another reason you should like him.
I must have blocked that part out because I don't recall that.
I don't remember that either. You probably did block it out.
I'm sure.
The hapless Charlie Brown, who was usually called by both names, though Peppermint Patty invariably called him Chuck and the bespectacled Marcy called him Charles, was an indecisive, likable, easily embarrassed elementary school boy. Schulz considered him to be his alter ego. He represented a youthful everyman. He was often tormented by Lucy, always dusted himself off and tried again after repeated failures. That's why you don't relate to him. Fuck that, dusting yourself off. Just go home and sit on the couch.
I'm just not good at dusting myself off.
And he never worked up the courage to speak to the little red-haired girl for whom he pined. While expecting the worst, he hoped for the best.
There it is. I just expect the worst.
And hope for the worst.
and it always happens. So,
as evidenced by his role as the manager of a perennially underperforming baseball team. Other running gags, including Charlie Brown's attempts to fly a kite, which were often frustrated by a kite-eating tree, which is his own fault. You don't fly a kite that close to the tree.
look, I don't like kites to begin with.
Kites.
I'm not a fan. I hate them. They stress me out.
Really?
Yes.
Oh my God, I love flying.
I can't stand them. It's my dad's fault, 100%.
Oh.
Yeah. He would make them go up really, really high and then hand them to me. And that's too much pressure for a little kid.
That is a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the upper atmosphere. So I don't fuck
Broke the ozone.
Yeah, I don't do kites.
That's another thing I miss doing with my kids. We used to go to the park and go kite flying.
I think I went with you one time and it stressed me out. The ones that have up on the boardwalk, those big ones that like diving cut. I hate that shit. I hate it.
I don't need all that fancy stuff. Just give me the cheap dollar store plastic and the 2 plastic things and send it up. Let's see. In spite of these setbacks, he boasted occasional victories, such as when he triumphed over a neighborhood bully in a game of marbles. Ooh, look at you, Charlie Brown.
I'm trying to triumph too by making this damn podcast. You people will not cooperate.
Maybe you need to go play some marbles in the street with somebody.
I don't know how to play marbles. My mom tried to teach me, but
I don't know marbles. I know jacks.
I know jacks. Did you see they've got backgammon over here. I fucking love backgammon. There's 2 separate boards here.
Mm-hmm. I also like, what's the other one that kind of looks like it? Starts with a C.
Oh, yeah. I was going to say Baccarat, but that's not. That's a gambling
You're
game.
thinking of casinos.
Yeah.
Shoot. What is it? Oh, well. When Schulz first came up with the idea for a comic strip that revolved around a group of young neighborhood kids in 1947, he called the weekly panel cartoon Little Folks, which we mentioned before. At the time, he was illustrating the comic strip for his hometown newspaper. But when he brought the idea to the United States Syndicate in 1950, he was asked to change the name, given possible copyright issues with a different strip called Little Folks. Ooh, scandal.
Copyright.
Schulz suggested Charlie Brown or good old Charlie Brown, but the syndicate decided on a different name entirely, Peanuts. After the children-only audience section of the Howdy Doody show, which was referred to as the Peanut Gallery.
Oh, I did know that.
While Schulz may not have been aware, the phrase had racist origins in the 19th century.
Get out.
I think we talked about that, didn't we?
I think so.
In the Jimmy Carter
episode.
It feels familiar.
You should listen to the Jimmy Carter episode.
Yeah, and see if we talked about
What would Jimmy do?
It's a good one.
It is a good one.
Schulz wasn't exactly a fan of the new name. He thought it made the strip sound insignificant. He once said in an interview that he had sometimes rebelled and submitted the comic without a title. Ultimately, though, Schulz and the syndicate reached a compromise. They would use the name Peanuts and run the subtitle Charlie Brown and His Gang on Sundays. Ugh, that sounds like way too much work.
Yep.
To have that be the outcome.
Yep.
So I don't know if you knew this, but Snoopy came from a litter, and he had 5 siblings.
Were they all arrogant?
Let's find out.
Okay.
So Charlie Brown's beloved beagle, modeled after Schultz's own pup Spike, is one of kind. Over the years, he proved to be Charlie Brown's best friend and confidant, an active dreamer, and an art aficionado whose doghouse is supposedly adorned with works by Vincent van Gogh and Andrew Wyeth. But Snoopy didn't start out as an only puppy. Before Charlie Brown bought him from the Daisy Hill Puppy Farm, Snoopy had 5 siblings who
Well, that's his problem right there.
Yeah.
It's from a puppy farm.
Yeah.
A puppy mill. It's a puppy mill, baby.
All 5 siblings had made appearances throughout the years. Spike, who wears a hat, has a mustache, and lives in the desert. He was funny. I like Spike. Outside of Needles, California.
I do not recall any.
You don't remember Spike?
Nope.
He was cute. Belle, who is Snoopy's only sister, had an unnamed teenage son.
That's scandalous.
Dang.
Scandalous.
Was it a bastard puppy? Marbles, who is often referred to as the smart one in the family. With the name like Marbles?
I would think not.
Okay. And then Olaf, the misfit of the family.
Hold on. He's a snowman. Can't fool me.
And Andy, who is always drawn with fuzzy fur and only appears in strips alongside Olaf.
Andy?
Andy.
Okay. Marbles, Olaf.
Andy.
Spike. Spike. That one, I don't know about that.
Then the little floozy, whatever her name was. Remember when your biggest decision was which Lisa Frank folder to bring to homeroom? Well, now it's which handcrafted spirit to sip while doom scrolling your ex's LinkedIn. Introducing Garden State Distillery, where every bottle is grown here, made here, and tastes like New Jersey finally got its act together.
Whether you're reliving your mall goth phase or just trying to survive another PTA meeting, Garden State small batch spirits are your new emotional support beverage. Try the bottled cocktails because mixing drinks is for people who still believe in multitasking. Grab some merch so your hoodie can smell like rebellion and rosemary gin.
And because you're one of us, use code LikeWhateverPod for 15% off. Garden State Distillery, because therapy is expensive and this tastes better. Although adults barely feature in the Peanuts world that Schulz created, Charlie Brown's parents are 2 who are given the tiniest semblance of personalities in the comic strip. And by personalities, we mean descriptions. Charlie Brown's mother is a housewife and is one of the only characters that calls him Charlie. And his dad is a barber, just like Schultz's real-life dad. Charlie Brown's dad doesn't actually appear in the strip, but he's referenced often. Oh, I think we're in my fun facts.
I'm excited.
I didn't even realize that.
I love fun facts.
I think we've been in them for a while now. I'm just so tired, I don't even know.
She's very tired.
I am. I literally was like getting on meetings on my work phone while I was stationary because I knew I had to leave before the end of the meeting. And then I would listen to the meeting in the car or driving to another meeting. Like, that was my day today.
That sounds awful.
That is way too much for me.
That's the best part of my job is I spend the whole day by myself in a little car.
I have 2 people all day.
I mean, I do because they come up to me, but for the most part, the best part about being especially a full-time, what they call regular, is you're basically your own boss. Like,
yeah,
you just have to go and come back.
I went to a breakfast that one of the local colleges puts on every year for collaborators, colleagues, things like that. Mm-hmm. I went and found a nice table all by myself in the corner. Went and got my coffee and my orange juice and my breakfast. And then 2 deans come up, deans of the school, and sit with me and make me talk.
Ugh.
I know.
I hate that.
I hate it too.
I don't mind. I don't mind people in sometimes, but when it's forced like that,
yeah,
like clearly I'm away from everybody for a reason.
And I was kind of like in the corner hidden because I had to leave that early to get to a meeting.
Right.
And I just kind of wanted to slip out. And now I have 2 really important people from the school sitting with me. And now I look like an asshole ducking out, but
gotta go, kids.
Thanks. Hate to eat and run.
Cool story, bro.
All right. So the little red hair girl who was on Charlie Brown and the one Charlie Brown had
is it Ariel?
Crush on. No, she didn't have a name. So you can name her Ariel if you'd like.
She's a Little Mermaid.
And she was never seen in the comic. Speaking of characters who never show their faces, Charlie Brown's eternal crush, the little red-haired girl, is mentioned frequently, but never actually appears in any of Schultz's original comic strips. though she did make an appearance in some later TV specials. I remember her on the TV specials. I wonder if she was a secret crush of Schultz's.
Are we sure he wasn't schizophrenic? Charlie Brown? Maybe none of this is real.
I thought you meant Schultz. I don't know.
I don't know. Maybe.
Maybe Schultz. Yeah. Maybe this was the
How come
land he
dogs
lived
talk
in.
to you? Just saying.
The closest readers have ever come to seeing Little Red-Haired Girl in print was in silhouette in one of Schultz's daily strips in 1998, and she was never given a name. According to a 2015 feature in The Week, there was a good reason for that. She was based on a real woman. Oh, duh.
Here we go.
Schulz dated the red-headed Donna Mae Johnson prior to Peanut's success. He even proposed, but she turned him down and married someone else shortly after because he was obsessed about writing about 3- and 4-year-olds.
Again, also creepy.
Schulz admittedly pined for her for years after, and in 1961 he created the mysterious little red-haired girl for Charlie Brown, possibly as a symbol of young, unrequited love. This was something I never realized, because Linus talks a lot in the cartoons, but he didn't speak for the first 2 years of the comic strip.
I didn't think he did. I thought he never talked. I feel like that was the thing.
Pigpen doesn't talk.
God damn it.
Yes. Linus is the one in the Christmas one that the spotlight comes down on him in the stage and he recites the church thing.
Stupid speech.
Yeah, it is a really beautiful moment,
Sure.
even though it's
Stupid.
not my thing. Yeah, I'm getting the exact reaction out of you I expected from this script. It's awesome. Many of Schultz's characters represent a part of his personality, and Linus is no different. The oft-nervous younger brother of Bossy Lucy, Linus actually didn't say his first word until 1954, 2 years after he was introduced into the comic strip. Schulz has referred to Linus as a manifestation of his serious side, the house intellectual, bright, well-informed. Excuse me.
That's a lot to say.
Which may be why he said Linus has such feelings of insecurity. And while Linus's trademark blue blanket didn't exactly spark the term security blanket, it's hard not to link the two in our cultural understanding of what a security blanket is these days. Why wouldn't it come from that?
I don't know.
Like, where else would it come from?
I mean,
I guess maybe a war or something somewhere.
or I don't know. I don't know. Jessica had a blanket. Oh, my sister had a blanket. A blankie.
I had a kitty.
I had a poo.
Got wound up.
Winnie the
Played
Pooh.
music.
If she had a blanket, it was silky, and she would run it through her fingers until it was a teeny tiny little square.
That doesn't sound like anxiety at all.
That's the only way she could go to sleep.
This was something that I didn't know, and now that I know it, I can't unhear it, but they used a trombone for Charlie Brown's teacher's voice. I always just assumed it was somebody saying wah, 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 wah. In the original comic strip, Charlie Brown and his friends are the focal point, while teachers and other adults are relegated to the backdrop. But when the popular comic strip was made into an animated series, producers knew they'd need to find some way to create a voice for adults in a way that still paid homage to Schultz's wishes to leave adults out of the main picture. Composer Vince Guaraldi, who scored all of the early classics, including A Charlie Brown Christmas and It's a Great Pumpkin Charlie Brown, came up with the solution. Use a trombone with a mute in the bell to stand in for any adult dialogue. The result was what's now widely referred to as the wah-wah voice. Peanuts was the first major comic strip to feature a minority character. Yay for that. Mm-hmm. Schulz was intentional about a lot of things when it came to how he framed his famous comic strip, but most especially when it came to race. The majority of the Peanuts gang had always been white, mostly because the cartoonist felt unsure as to whether it was his place to include minority characters in his storyline. And that's fair.
Yes, because
you don't want to offend.
You don't want to go the wrong way on that one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But things changed in 1968 following the assassination of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Schulz received a letter from a woman asking him to add an African-American character to the comic, and 3 months later, in July 1968, Franklin made his comic strip debut, picking up and returning a beach ball that Charlie Brown had lost.
And maybe he learned something from Dr. Seuss, too. Wish you can hear more about that. And how Dr. Seuss is problematic. And I think the episode is I do not
like this grown-up scam. I do not like it, Sam. I am.
Yeah. So check that out if you want to hear. But maybe he did. Maybe he learned a lesson. That might have been why, because Dr. Seuss kind of went a little bit off on that one.
Yeah, I get that.
Yeah.
Especially back then.
Yeah.
Critics have noted that Franklin is more nondescript than his white counterparts, but Schulz's longtime friend and fellow cartoonist Rob Armstrong once said that he thought Schulz played it smartly with Franklin. He was always very thoughtful in how he treated his characters, Armstrong told NPR in 2018. And in fact, Schulz actually dedicated Franklin's last name to Armstrong after the pair developed a friendship that lasted until Schulz's death in 2000. Armstrong is the creator of Jumpstart, one of the most widely syndicated black comic strips ever. Yeah. Charles Schulz once killed off a character because she was so unpopular with the readers.
He should have killed off Snoopy.
And Lucy.
Taking line
and the whole rest of them. Just blow the town up.
Stinky pigpen.
In November 1954, Schulz introduced a new female character to the Peanuts strip, Charlotte Braun, a loud...
Well, I mean...
a loud, brash character who was meant to be the counterpart to bubbly, soft-spoken Charlie Brown. It turned out, though, that readers weren't ready for an opinionated female character. No, readers still aren't ready for that shit. No. And largely disliked Charlotte's presence on the page. Damn her for being a strong female. She made a total of 10 appearances in subsequent comic strips and then quietly disappeared without an explanation.
Yeah. It's a little Ava Brownish.
Yeah,
there.
I didn't feel real good about that.
No. It's a little...
Because, Lucy, she spoke out, but she was a bitch. So you could just relate her to your bitchy wife and your bitchy mom. And
yeah.
But just a sassy, strong woman.
Yeah.
Who needs it?
God. Ruining everything.
Some 45 years later, however...
Wanting rights and all that. Want to vote.
Control of your body.
Come on.
Crazy.
Don't be ridiculous.
Some 45 years later, however, following Schulz's death, a letter he had written to a disgruntled fan about Charlotte Braun was unearthed. In it, he wrote, perhaps jokingly, possibly not, that the reader and her friends will have the death of an innocent child on your conscience. Are you prepared to accept such responsibility? Oh my God, there is so much scandal in the Peanuts. He ended the letter with a drawing of Charlotte with an axe in her head.
Good Lord.
You like him a little better now?
Yeah. Where's that? I want to see that one.
Well, it's in the Library of Congress.
I will go there.
Yep, the original letter is there now.
Right now.
Well, don't go there right now. We got to finish the podcast.
I don't want to go over that bridge.
In your car.
And I don't have a car.
It's a whole thing.
Yeah.
As I mentioned before, the final strip ran the day after Schulz's death. He was a notoriously hard worker and was rumored to have taken only one real vacation in his career. Reportedly, the only time Peanut strips were ever republished during his lifetime were when United Features ordered him to take 5 weeks off around his 75th birthday. It was perhaps fitting then that when he died of colon cancer 2 years later, it was just one day before his last original strip ran, so he never missed a deadline.
Well, that's nice.
It is a very romantic way to die,
Okay.
I think.
I don't know. I'll let you know when
I'm probably
I die.
just thinking of Taylor Swift's song Actually Romantic, but whatever.
Did you get the thing I sent you about, I don't know if I did send you, about how you have to have a word so that when one of us dies and we come back, we know this, or we talk to a psychic, then we know we have a secret word. So that when they're like, oh, I'm talking to you, and then you can be like, what's the word? We can't tell you people now, but we'll make it up.
Yeah. And we'll never tell you, but
Because then you might be a psychic listening.
but we're definitely not telling you now because we don't know what it is.
We don't know what it is.
Peanuts comic strips are no longer drawn. Unlike many other comic strips, such as Gasoline Alley, Blondie, and Beetle Bailey, I always like Beetle Bailey, which have brought on new artists to write or draw the cartoons after the original creator's death or retirement. Peanuts ended with Schulz's death in 2000. In December of the previous year, Schulz had announced that he would be ending Peanuts' nearly 50-year run. His final daily strip ran in January 2000, and the final Sunday comic ran on February 13th, 2000. Schulz used that strip as a farewell letter. Unfortunately, I am no longer able to maintain the schedule demanded by a daily comic strip. My family does not wish Peanuts to be continued by anyone else. Therefore, I am announcing my retirement. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Linus, Lucy, how can I ever forget them? To this day, there have been no new strips released, and new animated specials must be based on storylines, themes, and dialogue that already exist within the strip's 50-year history. And lastly, there's a Peanuts documentary that never aired. I wonder why. The very first Peanuts animation was made by Bill Melendez in 1959 for the Ford Show, a variety show sponsored by Ford Motors. Melendez would later form his own company, Bill Melendez Productions, and he was
Clever name.
Yeah, man, thinking out of the box there. And he was largely responsible for animating and directing all subsequent Peanuts television specials and movies, with one exception. In 1963, Lee Mendelson, who later produced nearly all of Melendez's work, produced a documentary about the popular comic strip in collaboration with Schulz himself. The finished product, A Boy Named Charlie Brown, not to be confused with the above-mentioned Oscar nominee of the same name, never aired on TV. It is, however, available on DVD exclusively in the Schulz Museum store.
Merch.
So if you are dying for more information
I'm not.
on the Peanuts, you need to head your happy ass over to the Schulz Museum store, wherever that is.
I don't know why. I was never into like newspaper comics anyway. Like The Far Side, okay, because that's weird, but
I always loved comics,
never in.
but
I never liked
well,
having
you probably
fun.
didn't have
I didn't have fun.
you probably didn't have newspapers around you much as a small child.
My grandfather and I used to do the word search every Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I like the crossword puzzle.
I like the crossword puzzle. But yeah, as a tiny kid, we would do the word search in the Philadelphia Inquirer.
So you never read Garfield or Marmaduke or Beetle?
I mean,
Bailey?
I've seen them.
You know them all, right?
I know them,
Right.
and I've read here and there, but I
had ones I liked and ones I didn't like. I mean, and I read them for a while. I remember one called For Better or Worse came out maybe when I was a teen. I never cared much
What
for
was
that
the one with the Viking?
Oh.
I want to say Horton Hears a Who, but that's Dr. Seuss.
Something terrible.
Yeah, not Ivan the Terrible. That's something different.
Harold?
We're both tired.
I know. Oh, well.
Yeah.
But do us a favor and go look it up and send us an email and let us know what it is.
Because I don't feel like Googling it right now.
Our thumbs are tired. We don't feel like Googling.
Yeah, I don't know. I was a weird kid. I know, shocker. But
Kid?
yeah, I don't think I ever was actually a child, so.
No.
Because I didn't really. I mean, I guess I did like cartoon. I don't know. It's weird. Just never was into the comic book. Never did comic books.
You're into a lot of things, and you're into
I
a
just
lot
don't have
of
time for all the things.
I know, and you're into a lot of eclectic things. You've never been really mainstream, I guess. You didn't like the boring stuff everybody else liked.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, I guess.
You've always been cooler than me.
No.
Even before we knew each other.
No.
Yeah, you were definitely cooler
Always
than me.
just been a little weirdo. I know, because when I was watching, what was one of my favorite podcasts is My Favorite Murder, and they always say, like, what was your first introduction into true crime? And so they have announced that the new episode of Monster is on Lizzie Borden. I'm worried.
Well, yeah, now.
Yeah.
I was always obsessed with Lizzie Borden.
You know you can stay in her house, right?
I think I knew that, yes.
Yeah, they turned it into a B&B.
I remember the funny thing, I remember being obsessed with Lizzie Borden at a very young age. And the fact that her mom made her eat food with maggots in it,
Yeah.
like that always freaked me out. Of course, I always knew the rhyme. Lizzie Borden took an axe and gave her father 40 whacks. When the job was nicely done, she gave her mother 41. And then I remember when I was 18, I went to New Orleans with my mom and a few of my friends. And one night we were back in the hotel after a long day and we watched the Lizzie Borden movie. And this was in 1991, so it was not a very good one. But yeah, she was probably my first obsession with true crime too.
I was thinking about it and I was like, I can't. It has to be Lizzie Borden.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
Yeah. I mean, imagine because of the rhyme.
Well, and the 70s were a hot time for serial killers. Lots of young girls hitchhiking. I mean,
Yes.
it was like killing fish in a barrel.
It really was. It was the golden age
There
of
were
the
no
serial killer.
cameras. There was no internet. It was just, hey, you need a ride? Yeah.
Yeah.
And that was that.
What a time to be alive.
And half the time they were runaways, so nobody knew where they were anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I bet serial killers these days are like, man, they had it good.
Man, they had a good run when they were young.
Now people lock their house.
They got ring doorbells everywhere.
Carry mace, and
So rude.
it's so much
I
harder
mean,
now.
we just have made it so difficult for serial killers to
And we
exist.
really have.
I mean,
And it's not like they've gone away.
you know, now they have to be spree killers.
Yeah.
They have to do it all in once, and they don't care for that.
I still think if I were to do it, even these days, I think catching the train cross country. I'm talking like the boxcar trains that are transporting
A
like
hobo.
yeah,
You do it all hobo-y.
yeah. Because that's the key. You stop somewhere where nobody knows you. You kill somebody you don't know,
Yeah.
and you get the fuck out of
You
town.
definitely have to do it anonymous. You can't.
It
kill
can't be
somebody
anybody you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just
And I
a
don't
tip.
think my DNA's in the database, so my
Mine
fingerprints are.
is.
My fingerprints definitely are.
My DNA is in the system.
Why?
I
For
did
the
a-
post
I
office?
did no. I did a 23andMe, not 23andMe, Ancestry. So I'm in the Mormons. The
That's why I
Mormons
never
have my
did.
DNA.
That's why I never did that shit. I don't want my.
I did it because I wanted to know if my parents were my real parents. Turns out they are.
Damn it.
I know. I am not supposed to be a princess somewhere. I know. It's very disappointing. I mean, I know I am the spitting image of my mother, but you know,
Yeah.
there's still a chance.
Yeah. And I mean, that whole ancestry thing, like my family, the history of my family is fucking crazy enough. Like I blew my poor daughter's mind because she's now an adult. So there's like things. I mean, this is talk about a month's worth of podcast to talk about it.
Yeah. Oh.
But there were things that I just didn't tell her as a kid that were part of my history. And it kind of came up recently. And she was like, wait, what? It's crazy. If you live in Delaware, it's a Delaware thing for sure.
Yeah.
But I mean, I'm
or
not
West
inbred or
Virginia.
anything. Please, if anyone's thinking it's nothing, it teeters on it, but it's not.
Not 100%.
But yeah. I mean, my life is like crazy enough. It's
Yeah, of course, I guess any of us can look back and be like, wow, that was, especially people of our generation, because that whole latchkey thing was just
but
insanity.
not all of us. Like there are people that
I guess.
had very normal childhoods, and I used to envy them. I don't envy them now because I feel like that's a I don't want to be jealous of people because they had good parents.
Right.
But
My mom always used to say,
you had great parents.
some people are going to always. Some people are always going to have more than you, and some people are always going to have less than you.
Yes.
Forever.
Yes.
No matter where you are in life.
Yes.
Unless you're Elon Musk.
Your mom said that?
Yeah.
That's pretty wise.
Pre-brain injury.
Pretty wise.
Well, she used to go hard on that one when you would complain about stuff. Mm-hmm. There are people who have more than you, and there are people who have less than you.
Yeah.
Always. Unless you're Elon Musk. She didn't put that part in, but I did.
She probably made that up after your little princess sister was born and was having a temper tantrum because she couldn't have something she wanted. Blah, blah, blah,
she was such a brat. Ugh. Can't even go into her.
Yeah, but she grew up to be pretty awesome, so.
I guess. This episode drops on my cousin's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Does he listen?
I don't know.
I don't think he does.
I don't think he does either.
We don't have any listens in that area.
No.
But he might not be a podcast listener. Or he might not want to listen to us right now.
He might just hate us.
Yeah.
He's probably, if you're listening right now, you know who you are.
But happy birthday anyway.
Yeah.
That's funny. His birthday is so close to your mom's, and your birthday was on your uncle, on his dad's birthday.
Yeah. So my uncle and mine have have our birthday, and then my mom's birthday is 5 days later, and then my cousin's birthday is exactly 7 days after her birthday, and then my sister's birthday is 7 days after that.
Wow.
So my sister's birthday is the 17th. Crazy.
Yeah. So my birthday is the day before my mom's, and then my sister is 12 days after my mom. But then my kids,
Yeah.
one's born August 2nd, one's the 10th, and one's the 13th. And then their dad is the 14th. So, yeah.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
It is. They come in groups, I guess. I don't know.
I don't
Although
know.
my dad, well, no, because my dad is in April, and then my mom's bestie's 2 kids. The oldest is 2 days before my dad's birthday, and then the other one's a month later.
I miss those kids.
They're not kids anymore.
I probably wouldn't even recognize them anymore.
No, my godson has two kids of his own, and then the other one has one.
Oh, I didn't know that one, and I didn't know about the second one.
Boy, he has a boy and a girl, and then the older one has a girl.
Oh.
Very Italian names for all of them.
No doubt.
Yes. Yes.
All right. Well, that was my episode on the peanuts. Happy 75th to the peanuts.
Yeah, that's nice. That's lovely.
Yeah. You're lying, but that's okay.
I'm not. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it's a little, it's funny how much, it's just funny to go back on these things and listen to the adult things that were happening while we were just kids reading the comic strip.
That's one of the things that you go back on and you're like, huh,
Yeah.
how about that?
Yep.
That was an interesting, thing
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I know Disney did it on purpose so that the adults, when they took the kids, had something to
laugh at.
laugh at. And so I assume, almost all the comics did too.
I don't think there's anything like that in the Peanuts, though. I don't remember any adult humor at all.
I don't know.
I think it was very childlike. I bet he did have a mental illness. I don't know what it is, but
I don't know.
something where he was trapped in that time.
I know. So they say that the Winnie the Pooh are all mental illnesses.
I have heard that theory.
Yeah. Obviously, Eeyore is depression.
Duh.
Obviously, Tigger is ADHD.
Yeah. Piglet is anxiety.
Piglet is anxiety.
Tigger.
ADHD.
Oh, wait.
Rabbit.
Rabbit.
I don't remember what Rabbit was. I don't remember what Pooh was
Rabbit
either.
was just kind of old and wise, wasn't he?
No, that was the owl.
Oh.
I don't know. There's a thing that you can look up and somebody has broken them all down. But I definitely identify with
Who might have been
Eeyore.
on the spectrum?
Or just glutton.
Nudist.
maybe Pooh was the and Christopher Robin is schizophrenic.
Oh.
Yeah.
I love that.
Yeah. I just can't remember what Rabbit and Kanga and Roo and Pooh were. I don't know.
Well, Kanga was the mom, right?
Kanga was the mom, Roo was the baby.
She was just stressed the fuck out.
Well, yeah. You would be too if you had to carry a baby around like that in your tum-tum.
Although my youngest, until she was 11, would wrap her legs around my waist and her arms around my neck and just cling to me while I walked around. She's a little thing, so
She's tiny.
I would clean house, wash dishes, do all kinds of stuff with her just wrapped around me. So that's probably like being a kangaroo mom.
We went off the rails again.
We really did.
Okay, we're both delirious.
We are. Thank you for bearing with us through that.
Thank you for listening.
Thanks.
You can find us on all the socials.
Yeah.
At Like Whatever Pod. We are on YouTube. What else am I supposed to say?
Like, share, rate, review.
Like, share, rate, review.
Please.
Find us where you find podcasts. The socials at Like Whatever Pod. And you can send us an email about what mental illness your favorite cartoon character is. At likewhateverpod@gmail.com or don't like whatever.
Whatever.
Bye.
You bet